All right, Mike McGroarty here from mikesbackyardnursery.com and Mike's Backyard Nursery on YouTube. So today we're sticking cuttings back here, and I'm doing a video about that. That hasn't been posted yet either. But I had some dappled willow, so I stuck these dappled willow cuttings in here probably at the end of March, which is normally a pretty good time of the year to do them. We had kind of a weird winter, so I was almost late doing them because they were just getting ready to break bud, but they still did pretty well. But the problem with dappled willow and mist, they don't like to be misted. So if I'm misting my softwood cuttings down here and the mist is landing on these dappled willow, they're probably going to fail after a period of time. So I checked them and they're actually rooted pretty well, not fantastic, but I'm going to go ahead. I was going to try and build a block to keep the mist off of them, but instead of doing that, I decided to go ahead and pull them out, and then I'm just going to put them here in the shade, let them catch some mist for a while, and then I'll until they harden off a little bit after being disturbed, and then I'll get them out of that mist before it affects them, probably put them under shade somewhere, and then later we're going to get them potted. Now, proven winners, don't get mad at me. I had this pot laying around, so I stuck them in a proven winners pot. I'm not selling them. This is just temporary storage because there's 25 cuttings in here. So don't get all worked up over that. I have proven winners plants here in proven winners pots, but these were pots that I had left over. So it's temporary storage. My customers are not going to have anything to do with this pot of dappled willow. When they do get potted, they'll be put in a generic black pot for sale. Okay, so I want to show you, like I said, it is, I don't know, well, I'll tell you what it is. It's June 11th, and like I said, I stuck these, let's just say April 1st, even though it was probably a little bit before that. So we got April, May, June. So in like 2.5 months, these things have rooted from hardwood cuttings. And when I say hardwood cuttings, basically, I'm talking about a stick with, actually these are a couple that didn't root, but that's what the cuttings look like. It's a stick. So I took this, it was a dormant stick. I took the stick, I just stuck it in the sand, and then I watered them on warm days, and then once we got our irrigation going, they get watered once a day with the irrigation, so they don't get misted. I don't even know if I dipped them in rooting compound. I probably did not, because they really don't need it. And a lot of times with my hardwood cuttings, I don't even take the time to do that. So I'm going to pull some out and show you how well they are rooted. Some are rooted really, really well. Some of them not so much. But as long as I get them out of here without upsetting them too much. So look at that one. That's crazy. That's a crazy amount of roots in 2.5 months. There's another one. That's one that didn't do well. That one doesn't have a lot of roots, but because I'm sticking them in the container like this and I'm putting them in the shade, chances are that thing's going to finish rooting and be really nice later. If I don't get these things out now, they're going to get crazy and they're going to root into the ground, and that's even going to be more traumatic for them when I do transplant them, which I would have to wait until they're completely dormant to do that. So I'm pulling them now in a non-dormant state, trying to do as little root damage as possible. So, and then we just take them over to the potting bench and stick them in a container over there. So basically, I think that these are Annabelle hydrangeas that I did the same way, and more than likely I'm going to pull those right now too, and just get them out of there and then temporarily heal them in, and then they'll get potted later. If you pot in the dead of summer like this, you really need to shade things, unless it's got a real nice root ball, but even then, so you're not disturbing the roots at all. So potting in the dead of summer is never really recommended. So if I put them in these containers and just put them in kind of a holding pattern until we get cool weather in the fall, they'll be fine like this until fall, no problem whatsoever. So anyway, pulling dappled willow and probably some Annabelle hydrangea out of the sand and putting them in a container on a temporary basis. So that's it. Until next time, if you have any questions, comments, or even mean things to say, post them below. Until next time, by any and all means, stay inspired.